Pick a window. This is the Defenestrate Media Network.
Oh, wow. I don't know about the costume, but that's some set of wheels.
Hi, I'm Marv Wolfman, and you're listening to the world's greatest comic book podcast.
This is the world's greatest comic book podcast, and I am your host, the radioactive professor of all things comic book, J.C. Carter. Joining me today on the show, my amazing friend on the bridge of his own private enterprise, our very own Admiral James Tiberius Batman, Laird Jeff Bell.
Hi. Good day.
Hi.
I don't know. I was going to say a bunch of hellos in Spanish and other languages, but I don't know any. So, bienvenido, I think is one. I'm feeling worldy this week. We're going to talk about it in the TV section, but oh my
Very
God.
worldly.
I have an open heart for my fellow man from all different places, but especially fucking Scotland. Oh, those entertaining fuckers. Wonderful. But
Absolutely happy with the Tartan Army.
just delighted with them.
So how was it this
Father's
week?
Day.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day to you, sir.
Why, thank you. My middle child, Kyla, came down, went grocery shopping, brought back an enormous fucking brisket, which went in the smoker this morning, and my chips box, where I put the wood chips for the smoker, is quite small because I'm not one of those Traeger guys. I can't afford one, and I bought this instead of a sous vide. A few years ago. So they're in the smoker, and the reason we started late today was I had to teach Kyla how to change the chips out, because when it's time to put new chips in, we will still be recording.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what's going on at the Bell House this morning. It's quite nice. It smells fucking wonderful, and we won't be able to eat for about 10 hours.
Yeah, because of the Scottish Festival, we're as always, broke this weekend, so I don't know. Beef costs so fucking much. I don't know what I'm going to do for Father's Day dinner, if anything. My wife saw this thing for a Philly cheesesteak casserole that has hamburger. I'm like, oh, so it's affordable.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
And I said, well, if I can't have steak, maybe I'll have that. I don't know. Something.
There's a comedian that does a little bit about how Father's Day is the 33rd most celebrated holiday in the world. You know it's number one?
Mother's Day or Christmas?
Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day. Yeah.
So
everybody will celebrate Mother's Day. Dads often get forgotten. Yeah.
Yeah, so, fuck you and your steak, because 33rd. Yep. But 33rd. Yeah, Kyla has been saving for this for almost 2 months because she likes the way I cook. And if she's going to make me cook on my day, it's going to be something special. And I was really excited.
It's a good day for cooking. Good day for cooking, yeah.
I was up at 6 trimming that thing and getting it ready to go, and had it in the smoker by 7. Cannot wait. Hope it turns out good. So, anyway, you were asking me a question and I interrupted you. I apologize.
I was just asking how your week went, and you just told me you're getting fed well.
Yeah. No, the week was pretty good. I had a funeral on Saturday, and then and so we went up to Salt Lake for that, and I got to see cousins and stuff I haven't seen in 30 years. And everybody looks the same, just kind of older. kind of a lot older, but it was something. I don't get to spend a lot of time with my extended family, especially on my mom's side. And it was nice to run into people that I used to really, really be very close to when I was a kid. My mom's family's really tight with one another, and they're also very religious, which is one of the reasons why I didn't get to play in the reindeer games coming up. Especially, after my folks split and I moved in with my dad, the family just really wanted to have nothing to do with me. But my cousins never. That was more my mom's siblings, that were kind of a dick about that. My cousins were pretty fucking cool about it. So
your cousins were like, Jeff's the cool one. Why are we rejecting Jeff? Yeah.
Yeah. So I put on my smaller earrings and I put on a suit and went up, and my little brother flew in from Texas for the funeral, got in around 9:30, 10, went to the funeral, we went to lunch, and then he got on a plane and went back to Texas.
Boy.
Yeah, he was in town for about 4 hours.
In and out.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
It's nice when you live next to an airport.
Well, it's nice when you work for an airline.
Yeah, that too. Just get on a plane. Yeah, I'll catch a connecting flight back out in about 4 hours. That'll be fine.
Yeah. That's pretty nice. How about your week? What were you up to this week?
Well, last weekend was the Utah Scottish Festival. It's kind of bittersweet in that, we had a great time. It was a little underattended, I felt like. So hopefully we keep having them. Everything was more expensive this year, I think, so that was a bigger problem. It's not a free festival. You have to pay to get in. But yeah, we for the first time since I started doing the clan tent again, we actually got adjudicated. Hasn't happened since I was an assistant, helping to run the Clan Arthur tent. And we got adjudicated, and I tied with some friends of mine for best clan tent. So that was a pretty sweet little deal. After all the work and money I've put into it, that was nice. And then I also won the Battle of the Clans the Clan MacFarlane puts on, mostly because the biggest chunk of it is a trivia contest. So
that's you, baby.
Scottish trivia. I'm like, yeah, you're asking somebody who's a fellow of the Society of Antiquaries for Scotland whether or not he's going to know this stuff. I did blow it on a date one, and so the guy, my friend who's the MacFarlane, he says, yeah, next one's going to be all dates. I'm like, damn it, now I got to study dates. But we got the news that a friend died, and in a scuba diving accident of all things at Bear Lake.
Yeah. I think it's late enough now. We're not breaking news. We Braxton and I talked about it for a moment on Gen X on Monday. This happened last weekend, but our good friend Greg died in a scuba diving accident, and you hear that phrase, at least he died doing something that he loved. And Greg, bless him, couldn't shut the fuck up about scuba diving and how much he fucking loved it.
He fucking loved it.
And so I'm split between he died doing something he loved or he was killed by something that he loved.
He was killed by something he loved is how I look at it. I guess friends who drove him up to Bear Lake, he carpooled with these friends up to Bear Lake, and he told them that he wasn't going to stay the night after he qualified for his diving certification. He was gonna get back down to Salt Lake because he wanted to get to the Scottish Festival, which meant he would have come to see me because he came to see me last year. He was one of the few people, because I was stuck out in BFE because of the way they had to arrange the clans last year. This year we were in what we called the Clan Village, which was perfect.
Nice.
He would have come to see me, and it was like Sunday afternoon, and I'm like, who haven't I seen this year? And I was counting down different people I hadn't seen, and then I opened up Facebook after doing the winning both competitions, and I put my little post up on Insta and Facebook. Open up Facebook, the first thing I see was his sister's comment, or his sister saying that he'd passed, and I was like, man, that really bummed me out. Really bummed me out.
It does.
So, yeah, it was bittersweet.
Yeah. So,
But,
rest in power, Greg.
Yep.
I'm going to miss just knowing you're out there. You were a lot of fun.
He was. But you mentioned Gen X, and all this last 2 weeks on my daily walk that takes an hour, I've been listening to Gen X.
Ah, fun.
Yep. I'm like, well, it's a podcast I'm not on, so I don't have to, relive history, as it were. And I enjoyed listening to it. In fact, I have for Patreon today, I know we've got some extra news we're going to cover, but also I've got fun facts about Highlander that I know, because you said I would probably deny that Highlander is the reason I'm into Scottish stuff. No, that is exactly the reason I'm into Scottish stuff.
I knew it.
When I saw Highlander in 1986, 87, because of my friend Greg Gates, yeah, that was it. I was like, I got to find out if I got Scottish heritage. And as we get into the TV segment, there's been some people going, I'm trying to find out if I got Scottish heritage after, experiencing the Tartan Army here in the United States.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, that was it. So I've got some fun facts that I've learned about Highlander over the years that will make you laugh. But in the meantime, let's talk some comics. Let's do some comic book news. Oh, wait. Did I miss anything? No. Comic book news.
Yep. I think we're...
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice,
Marvel pulled a John Romita Paolo Rivera cover from Amazing Spider-Man 1000. This was a cover that was painted. It was by John Romita Jr. and Paolo Rivera, and it's supposed to look like Spider-Man is flying over your head. And what people online were starting to say is it looks like he's shrugging.
This is exactly what I thought when I saw it.
And yet, I don't see the big deal. It's a beautiful cover. I mean, that's some fucking art right there. But
it's just it's the Spider-Man 1000. Okay.
What the hell?
That's what Spidey's saying. Okay. Whatever.
I mean, I can see it when somebody said it. The first time I saw it, I was like, fuck, that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, he's shrugging. And my brain immediately came back with, so fucking what? It's a beautiful cover, and now I really want it because I can't have it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those you're like, oh, man. I mean, they got some gorgeous covers all the way through it, but that one, it was like, that was funny. That, no shruggy cover.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, okay. I mean, the one they're replacing it with is also very, very good looking.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely gorgeous. That's the one I kind of want, is that one.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just funny to me. What else do we got? Firefly's back. With a new series. Don't get too excited. Or get excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
But this isn't the animated series that's finally here that we were promised a few months ago. This is comic books. Dynamite is launching a new Firefly comic. Firefly #1, which will be written by Mark Russell. And yeah, I like Mark Russell, and drawn by Lorenzo Ree. What we got was the official statement from Dynamite saying Eisner Award-winning writer Mark Russell, Superman Space Age, so good. Batman Dark Age, so good. And rising star artist Lorenzo Ree, who did all of that interior in the Terminator series that came out last year. Not the best comic I've ever read, far from it, but really good looking. Anyway, they invite you aboard the Firefly-class spaceship Serenity for all-new renegade adventures. This all-new adventure begins. Mal Reynolds is desperate for cash to keep Serenity flying, while Simon and Kaylee must pose as a married couple to pull off a heist, but end up with more than they bargained for when an old caper comes back to haunt them. Oh, it's going to refer to the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it sounds like a lot of fun, and it's just funny how many different places Joss Whedon's 90s shows and early 2000s shows are showing up. It started out at Dark Horse. They had the license. Then it went to Boom for a few years. They had the license. They had a very successful Firefly run. I didn't care for it because I didn't feel like I heard the characters' voices as I read it. But I know it was very popular, so I was mostly alone in my feelings about it, I guess. But yeah, this one looks interesting. I'm looking forward to it, checking it out when it comes out.
DC is announcing a new Legion of Superheroes, Teen Titans, and Doom Patrol ongoing series. They've announced the next wave of their Next Level initiative, revealing the 3 new ongoing series launching in September of this year. Legion of Superheroes, Teen Titans, and the Doom Patrol. The new titles continue DC's effort to create accessible entry points for readers while introducing fresh creative teams and new direction. This is what they used to do with annuals. Yep. These are joining the previously announced Next Level books, including Batwoman, Lobo, Deathstroke, Firestorm, Zatanna, Barbara Gordon, and the Deadman. So yeah, I've been
reading Zatanna, Barbara Gordon, and the Deadman, and if they're as good as those, bring them on.
Yeah. Yeah, Josh Williamson and Scott Snyder are quoted as saying, these books are set in continuity, while the series will be independent reads and not heavily tied to other books. They will exist alongside DC's ongoing comic book series like Superman, Batman, Justice League Unlimited, and more.
So what they're saying is that while the things that happen in this are canon, in these books are canon, they're not going to disrupt these books with their annual "let's blow up the DC universe."
I'll believe it when I see it.
Exactly.
Beneath the Trees Where No One Sees is getting an all-star Halloween special. The mix of bone-chilling horror and cute, cuddly animals has been one of the biggest recent hits in comics, having sold more than 400,000 comics and collections. Samantha Strong, the lead character, has become so iconic she even crossed over into DC KO, and the prequel, Beneath the Trees Where No One Sees, Rite of Springs, has been nominated for an Eisner Award. So yeah,
deservedly so.
Halloween special added to the list. And this is a fun book. I enjoyed the few of these that I read before I stopped working at the comic book shop.
I've collected them all. I love the series. I can't wait for the Halloween special now. The only question is which cover. I kind of like the mask one. That was kind of cool. With all the masks on a rack, and one of them's Samantha Strong. I'm like, yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that's a good looking one. I'll want to be picking that one up when it comes up for our pick of the week. Layoffs are beginning at Dark Horse, but the union is complicating it. Dark Horse just moved to the lead of the Comics Chaos Derby. On Friday, rumors began to swirl that there had been layoffs in the IT and warehouse departments. Dark Horse also released a statement saying that they are currently undergoing a long-planned strategic transformation to ensure our future stability and success in an ever-evolving market. We are making the necessary business adjustments today so that we can continue to serve our creators and fans for the next 40 years and beyond. It's funny that this one came across my attention about 10 minutes after I applied for a job at Dark Horse.
There you go.
They're firing hundreds and hiring singles.
Hiring singles, yeah. And yet they have a problem because they agreed to this union, and so basically you can't lay off union people who are joining the union before the union has fully, realized and can negotiate against these layoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to the article, the Dark Horse management was planning the layoffs prior to unionizations, but layoffs must now be part of the arbitration process between the union and the company. So people are still getting fired, but probably less. Probably with better options going out the door.
Better options or
somebody
if not better
fighting on their
options, a promise of recall once arbitration is over, which is another advantage of a union. You work a job, you're very good at your job, you've dedicated a decade to a company. Well, I won't, say anything, personal or anything like that. And then they just cut you loose like you don't mean anything at all. And it's like with a union, at least they could say, well, they have to lay you off right now, but we'll bring you back in like 3 months or something, or 3 weeks or whatever, and when they've gotten more money. My dad was a member of the Steelworkers Union at the Geneva Steel Plant in Orem, Utah, and he went through that over the years. They would lay a bunch of guys off. He'd get caught in the layoffs. The union would set them up for recall. They'd be recalled within a few weeks, up to 2 months. My dad, who could never let grass grow under his feet, would hear about a job out of state, would go do the job. My mother said it cost me more to send him to do that job than he brought home in money. But he could not be working. So
no, I get it. I have the same thing. You'll notice that Defenestrate Media tends to grow shows when I'm out of work.
Yep.
Yeah. Because
we suddenly have a lot more shows on Defenestrate Media, and yeah, you just got to get more money coming in so that is your work.
Well, as it says on my business card, I'll podcast anything. Anything. I got 2 new shows in the works right now, and they're not me specific, other than I will just be producing.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about another show idea. So
see, like I said, we're in a period of growth. Muppets take the Marvel Universe. Muppets celebrate 50th anniversary of the Muppet Show with Muppets Take the Marvel Universe, a special one-shot featuring stories by Chip Zdarsky and Pete Woods, Kyle Starks and Mike Henderson, Ashley Allen and Paco Medina, Mackenzie Cadenhead. What a fun name. I'll bet elementary school was hell.
Yes.
And David Baldion, and more, including Philip Kennedy Johnson, Adam F. Goldberg, E.J. Sue, and I'm going to go with Attila Fabio.
Pretty good.
Yep. But I am so excited. My favorite Muppet is Rolf the dog. I love Rolf. Followed up by Peppy the prawn. I fucking love Peppy.
I love Peppy.
But I know I've loved Ralph since the Muppet movie, which is the first time I recall really seeing him and zoning in on him. And Chip Zdarsky is writing the Rolf the dog getting kidnapped story. Getting kidnapped by Mojo to help launch his new streaming service, forcing Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Wolverine, and Emma Frost, and more to team up to save him. Yes.
I can see Rolf just rolling with the whole kidnapping by Mojo, and he just finds a piano and just starts playing, and Mojo's like,
something to do.
I've never had anybody this agreeable. Yeah, Rolf was technically the first Muppet, because he was on the Steve Whatever show, and that was the first time we had this kind of the piano playing Muppet, and it was the first time they had him. And then shortly after that, you had Kermit show up, and then they went over and he got a gig with Sesame Street, and that was it. Yeah, and then the Muppets were born not long after that.
USA,
my boy will always be Gonzo. That's.
I do love Gonzo. I do a lot. He's problematic. Because, never mind. You know what? We'll save that one for Patreon.
Yes.
That was wildly inappropriate. USA Today will be launching a weekly Spider-Man Today series. The online hub, USA Today Play, is adding Marvel to its selection of comics. Over 1,000 digital comics will be available to subscribers, including an exclusive Infinity Comics series, Spider-Man Today, by Al Ewing and Todd Nauk. Or Nauk. The weekly 48-part series will feature Peter Parker teaming up with other heroes from across the Marvel Universe.
Of course.
A curated weekly selection will also be available to new subscribers, although this means the reading experience is interrupted by ads cutting across the page. You know,
well, what else are you going to get on an online thing? You know, even if you subscribe, you'll probably get ads cutting across the page.
Yeah. Yep. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of excited for this because it's a chance. The whole reason why Marvel Team Up and Marvel 2-in-1 worked back in the day was that they were a newsstand grab that would introduce you to you taking a familiar character, which was Spider-Man and Marvel Team Up, The Thing and Marvel 2-in-1, and then introducing another Marvel character that maybe you didn't know anything about, and it would let you experience that character. Nowadays, you don't need that as much, but this is a way to do it through another media, which we haven't had, which is USA Today. So, yeah, very cool.
So the first story arc will feature the Hulk just in time for the release of Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Mm-hmm.
That's in theaters July 31st. I am really looking forward to it. The second story, this will make Jocelyn happy if she listens to the show, will star Daredevil.
Yes.
Subsequent ones include Shuri and the X-Men. The book's launch also coincides with 616 Day, which has already seen the announcement of the Deadpool-Punisher crossover, Big Guns, and the release of Amazing Spider-Man 1000 on September 16th. So that's pretty cool. And in the meantime, that is it for the news.
Oh, wait, you're missing the Star Trek one.
Did I? Oh, yeah.
Big one.
So they canceled all the Star Trek TV shows, but they're going to give us a one-off with a lot of content. Star Trek announces a special 60th anniversary release, and it's big. Star Trek comic books are warp and woof with the franchise. What does that even mean?
What does that mean?
I don't know. First Star Trek comics hit newsstands roughly a year after the show premiered on NBC, published by Gold Key. I remember I used to have a lot of Gold Key, who specialized in media tie-in comics. The series ran 12 years. The rights to produce Star Trek comics have bounced around from publisher to publisher before landing at IDW in 2006. IDW still holds the license and will continue to make the Trek titles through 2029. Publishers released some of the best comics based on the franchise, including 2 titles simply called Star Trek. So the Hollywood Reporter announced that IDW's Star Trek 60th Anniversary Special, clocking in at 68 pages, the one-shot anthology features stories drawing on the franchise's rich history. The book brings together Star Trek veterans, both in comics and television, as well as a gaggle of exciting newcomers. 7 pieces in the 60th Anniversary Special will include a Sulu-centric story penned by Brian Michael Bendis, and based on a real-world encounter with George Takei. Bendis will be joined by frequent collaborator Michael Gaydos for the story. Megan Cameron, Mary Rollins, J.P. Jordan will bring fans a Starfleet Academy story, which is bittersweet.
Which, that's just, because, we have another season of Academy that we can watch that hasn't been finished yet, but then that's all we get, Yeah. So the special holds many other stories for Star Trek fans. David Gerrold, one of the last living original series writers and the creator of the Tribbles,
checks in with a story featuring Harry Mudd. Lower Decks creator Mike McMahon joins forces with Michael Allred and Laura Allred for a new tale of the Cerritos. That'll be fun.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yep. Ryan North and Derek Charm will give fans a love letter to the animated series, while Chris Fengolio will give Enterprise its due. There's going to be a story from David Walker about Worf with art by the Escorza brothers. So yeah, it's got a lot, even though it's just a one shot.
It's going to launch the next phase of the new Star Trek line from IDW, which will have Star Trek return as a series, just the title Star Trek, featuring Captain 7 of 9 and the Enterprise G.
That'll be fun.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
That's Christopher Cantwell doing that one, so I'm very excited to read that. And yeah.
Sweet.
Let's do it.
Okay, so that's it for the news.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a little break. Oh, wait. Let's talk first about what we read this week in comics. Jeff?
I didn't read any comics, but
okay,
I did read Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 1. And I really, really didn't want to like it as much as I did. You know, it's got a talking cat. And I cannot stand talking animals in general and talking cats in specific. I have put down books by authors I love because a cat starts talking. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that. But in this one, the cat is awesome. You know, Carl is awesome. The whole book reads like the most deranged game of D&D you've ever played. You know, which is so much fun. It reminds me not only of playing with our high school group, but playing with my friends in Denver on the front stoop on Sherman Avenue. Any game we could get that involved dice, we would just drop a tab of acid and play D&D for hours and hours and hours. And this reminded me a lot of those. Because, you know, you throw inebriation into role-playing, lots of wacky shit can happen.
It gets a lot more fun. Yes.
Yep, it really does. It becomes very entertaining. So that's what I read this week. What did you read this week?
Let's see. From IDW and Alien Books, we have Tarzan Beyond. This one's interesting. Basically, Tarzan's immortal. There's a spring that they had found deep in the jungle, as always happens in Tarzan books, that was enchanted to give you an extended life. And Tarzan and Jane have taken regular dips in it since basically Burrows wrote them, and they've stayed young. So they're sort of the immortal protectors of the jungle, which is I like the idea of that. It basically makes this pulls a lot from the Tarzan comic strips. So if you've ever read any of those, a lot of that is there. The feeling of it is there. I wouldn't say you have to have read them to understand what's going on. It's just the feeling of it. They do a really good job of explaining everything to you right at the front. There's a whole explanation of the main players in this book and everything. So, yeah, worth reading. I enjoyed the hell out of it. So worth checking out. Steve Orlando's writing it, so I knew it was going to be good. We have Skate Alley from Dark Horse. This is Sam Humphries writing it with a character created by him and Kelly Sue DeConnick.
Mm-hmm.
Natasha Bustos and Joshua Reed are doing the artwork, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, in a world where skateboarding is completely outlawed in Los Angeles, Allie is the lone skateboarder. Mm-hmm. And she goes to an abandoned amusement park to try to be at the level of the famous top 7 skaters in LA. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun to read. I enjoyed it. Wolverine number 21, break. Cover's wrong because it shows him with 2 sets of claws instead of just 1. Somewhere in all of this, he basically goes on a Hawaiian vacation with Kurt, and they have this whole thing where it's like clearly Saladin Ahmed just got back from Hawaii when he wrote that. Because it feels very much like, hey, yeah, I love this. I love this food. And I love this. I love that in Hawaii. So he just got back from Hawaii. I've read plenty of Wolverine stories like that. But then who do they run into but Crusher Creel, the Absorbing Man, and his girlfriend Titania, and they're just there on a vacation too. Logan and Nightcrawler try to hide from them, but they spot them. And they're like, hey, you're trying to mess it up. And they wind up, of course, getting into a fight. And at the end, and I'm going to spoil the ending, at the end, Wolverine discovers that he doesn't have his healing factor. And I swear to God, Saladin Ahmed, if you make him afraid of shaving again, I will find you and I will hurt you. That just pissed me off so much to see, oh, his healing factor's busted again. Great, now he's going to be afraid of shaving. And last but not least, Chip Zdarsky's Avengers Armageddon.
Ooh.
Number 1.
Good title.
So Red Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross, has taken over Latveria now that Doom is dead, and he had been held prisoner in Doom's dungeons the entire time that Doom was the Sorcerer Supreme / Emperor of Earth. And he's pretty pissed about it. So he's taken it over with the help of a army, with a small, basically a military squad that can all turn into Hulks. So he's got a bunch of gamma irradiated guys that help, men and women who help him out, and as a squad, and they basically have taken out the government of Latveria, whatever government they had, and they now rule Latveria, and they call it New America. Of course they do. And New America is now they're trying to expand New America into neighboring countries. The UN has told Reed Richards, "You guys stay out of it. You're the reason this kind of shit keeps happening." And naturally, they don't want to,
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they're trying to solve. They're like, "This is a human problem. Humans are going to solve this." And I'm like, it's not going to go well for you if you try to solve it. It's also not going to go well for you if the Avengers get themselves involved, along with the Fantastic Four. And of course, the Avengers and Fantastic Four are going to get themselves involved. So
That's what they do.
Yeah, it's a crazy. I know the series is going to go nuts, to the point where a lot of people are going to die, and they're probably going to have to find Doctor Doom's time platform to save everybody or something. But it's going to be nuts by the time it's over with. And looking forward to the rest of this series.
Sweet. Can we take a break?
Yes, let's take a break. And when we come back on the other side, we're heading to Tinsel Town.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
In a world where MAGA is banning and burning books, it is a revolutionary act to read. It's Monday in America is a bold collection from The Left Show's J.M. Bell about politics, family, aging, and the uncomfortable truths we keep avoiding. No talking points, just real life in a divided country. Order your copy of It's Monday in America today for just $14.99 at mondayinamerica.com. If you're looking to feel hopeful or inspired, or if you're just frustrated and unsure about where we're headed, this book provides a unique look at the life of a Gen X liberal, the challenges and victories, and the question, what kind of world have we built for our children? It's Monday in America. $14.99 at mondayinamerica.com. It's Monday in America. Better to die on your feet than live on your knees.
Hey, this is Elena Huffman, Abaddon on Supernatural, and you are listening to the world's greatest comic book podcast.
All right, Jeff, what are you looking forward to this week?
Great question. I'll start with mainstream. Summer of Supergirl special number 1 coming out from DC. I am really excited for, is it Miley Alcock?
Millie Alcock? Yeah.
Yeah, for her new movie. I am really here for it. It looks good. I'm not a big Lobo guy, never really have been, but let's admit it, Jason Momoa was genetically engineered to play this part.
Yes. I think he will play this role a lot better than he played Aquaman.
Yeah. So yeah, the quiet town of Midvale is shaken to its core when Supergirl finds herself face to face with the galactic bounty hunter Lobo. Can the Maiden of Might stand up to the main man? Plus, there's going to be a couple of bonus stories in it. Yeah, this looks good. This looks good. It's running $6.99, which means it's going to be fat. You know, probably not as big as the 60th anniversary of Star Trek, but bigger because bonus stories. So that's it there. And then X-Men, The Trial of Gambit. I missed this one when it came out the first time. And because I wasn't reading, you know, a lot of Marvel at the time. In fact, when the bulk of this story came out, I was reading pretty much only a couple of Vertigo titles, and that was it for comics for me. You know, and the only reason I was reading those was because of you. So, you know, you're the one that introduced me to Hellblazer.
Yes.
And he just rocketed up there, you know, but I was reading other stuff you were feeding me at the time. But yeah, so X-Men, Trial of Gambit. You know, Scott Lobdell. Scott Lobdell's done some good work in his life. So we'll take a look at that. What do you got for mainstream?
More Zdarsky fun. We have for Marvel Comics, Captain America number 12. Steve is in hell. He got himself beaten pretty badly by the Hulk Brigade, led by Thunderbolt Ross and the Red Hulk, and found himself waking up in hell, and there's Dr. Doom staring at him. So, yeah, now he's got to team up with Doom to get back to the world and maybe help Doom get back to the world as well. And maybe that'll be the answer to how, this whole Armageddon thing ends. So, yeah, basically, meanwhile, we'll see exactly how Ross took over Latveria. So that'll be interesting. From DC Comics, we've got The Peril of the Brutal Dark and Ezra Kane Mystery number 5. This has been a twisting, crazy tale, and I've enjoyed the hell out of it. And I can't wait to read the next issue. So that was the only thing that was the other thing in DC that I was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm getting that. So we'll call that one out. Nothing else was really interesting me. And then independent-wise, from Mad Cave, we have Bloodwire number 1. That's blood spelled with a U with 2 umlauts over the top of it. Over the top of the U. Ace and Zora were built for men's pleasure. Now they're building a life of their own, one bullet at a time. When Sexbot Ace mounts a dangerous rescue mission, she isn't starting a revolution. She's trying to save the woman she loves. But Ace and Zora are valuable property, and a corporate kill squad is hot on their trail. Bullets fly, metal screams, rivers run red with blood and coolant. That line alone, I'm like, all right, I'm in. What do you got for me? So it's a tender love story surrounded by a hail of bullets. Love is love, but liberation is violent.
So it's like Blade Runner, but told from the bot's perspective.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
I'm down with that. And then from Abrams, we're getting a graphic novel, kind of, Legendary comic book creator John Byrne returns to the title he first drew 50 years ago, Uncanny X-Men, with this one-of-a-kind new graphic novel series, X-Men Elsewhen. This 3-volume graphic novel series picks up the story from Byrne's original run, taking the characters in new and unexpected directions. In Volume 1 of X-Men Elsewhen, the Dark Phoenix saga is over, and Phoenix is alive? Well, she was supposed to be, actually. They actually had written a whole, and Byrne had drawn a whole thing where Phoenix survived. Well, not Phoenix, but Jean Grey survived by purging the Phoenix from her, and she was left alive. But Jim Shooter's like, no, she destroyed a planet. She doesn't get to live. And then Shooter turned around and brought her back because some other writer said, hey, I got an idea of how to bring Jean Grey back, and they didn't even tell Chris Claremont that was happening. So this is going to diverge from the epic finale of the 1984 storyline. And it's a universe where Jean Grey's powers and intellect have been greatly reduced, and from there, everything you thought you know about the X-Men is forever changed. So it's a 3-volume graphic novel series in the Marvel Arts line that sees the return of the acclaimed X-Men artist Byrne decades after his last work in the series. He's written and penciled every page, inked multiple chapters, all of which pick up the story from where his first go-around ended, taking his beloved lineup of characters and his fans in exciting new directions. As an X-fan, particularly because of Byrne, I'm very excited about this one. How about you, sir? What are your indie picks?
Indie picks. Casanova, Book 1. Casanova Quinn gets ripped out of space-time, betrays everyone he ever loved, and destroys whole worlds in his wake. But it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. That's the solicitation. I'm like, all right, how's it going to be okay? That's bringing us 12 issues of Casanova. Collected here for $39.99 by Image Comics. And I've heard good things about the series, and I'd like to give it a shot. My second one comes from Massive Publishing. This is Mercy Sparks #1, intended for mature audiences. The Year of Devil's Due 25th anniversary commemorates re-release begins. Key issues from throughout the studio's history, starting with Mercy Sparks #1 of the 2013 ongoing series, presented here along with brand new covers and commentary. So, Naughty Comics, I'm here for it.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no way this is not a Naughty comic. I'm looking at the covers right now, and I'm like, yep. Betty Page is the devil. This is for me. I am a target demographic. And that's all I've got for indies this week.
Awesome. Let's hop in the TARDIS, and we're going to head to to August, and give our picks of the future. All right, Jeff, what is your future pick?
Excommunicated. I'm waiting for the thing to do its thing. This is Jeremy Robertson and Tiago Palma. When a faithful nun and a festering demon are each excommunicated from the church and from hell because of a botched exorcism, I'm already on board. They must work together to uncover a sinister plot that endangers their lives and the world. New York Times bestselling author Jeremy Robertson and X-Men United artist Tiago Palma thrill and terrify readers with an unlikely and unholy pairing, a nun and a demon working together. That tickles me. What do you got?
From DC Comics /Vertigo, we have a new Vertigo title coming out in August. Black Tower, The Raven Conspiracy, #1. Written by Ram V, who I really like his work.
Yeah, I do too.
And Mike Perkins doing the art. 23-year-old Darren Burrows of Audubon, Pennsylvania, is a gifted rookie sent under the guise of a diplomatic aide to train with Division 9, an obscure, outdated, and easily dismissed arm of British intelligence that specializes in dealing with paranormal incidents. In the right sort of spy circles are known by a different, more feared name, Black Tower. It's 2026, and in an age of cyber warfare and drone strikes, someone is plotting to steal the head of a giant king to break a centuries-old war that has kept invading forces out of Britain.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So it's magic and espionage. I mean, this could be the next big movie, that comes out, from Vertigo, with Vertigo behind it. This has looks like a crazy cast of characters like the Invisibles had, that Grant Morrison did. You've got your American guy that's going to be sort of your everyman that we Americans can look at and go, okay, this is what those wacky Brits are doing, and kind of stuff. And he'll be sort of your gateway into the book. This is a great one for new readers, particularly if you like if you like good, dark, paranormal kind of stuff that's kind of urban fantasy. You got an urban fantasy fan in your life that's wanting to get into comics. In August, get them Black Tower, The Raven Conspiracy #1. I bet they're going to fall in love with it. And that's it. There's my pick. We're going to take another break, and now when we come back, we're going to be heading to Tinsel Town.
My name is Peter Davison. I played the Fifth Doctor, and you're listening to the world's greatest comic book podcast.
Hey folks, Jeff here. So, you want to start a podcast? Maybe you already did and it's just not going the way you thought it would. Well, here's the truth. It's not about the mic, it's not about the software, and it's definitely not just about posting episodes. It's about building a show that people care about. That's why I created the Defenestrate Media Podcast Academy. It isn't theory and it isn't fluff. It's a step-by-step breakdown of what actually works. Choosing a name, choosing a topic, building your structure, growing an audience, trying to turn your podcast into a brand, and maybe even a business. If you're serious about podcasting, this is a good place to start. And if you're just tired of guessing, this is how you stop. Check out the Defenestrate Media Podcast Academy and build something worth listening to. You can find more information at thecomicbookpodcast.com.
Hi, this is Kevin Eastman, co-creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you're listening to me on the world's greatest comic book podcast. Wah, wah, wah!
All right, sir. What have you been watching out of Tinsel Town this week? I know we've both been watching pretty much the same thing. It's not really Tinsel Town, but it's on the Tinsel Town network.
There are 4 games every day right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I am watching all of them.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's some more active than others.
Mm-hmm.
The USA-Australia game, I left the office. I went to the bedroom where the primary television that I watch is when I'm not working, and just laid down and watched the game.
Yes.
It was fun. Not as much fun as the first game, which they won 4-1.
But it was a fun game. They did really well against a team that was could have been as strong as them. I'm thinking for once the men might make it through to the quarterfinals.
Look, here's the thing. With the way that these teams from these teeny tiny countries who are playing for the first time are nailing down, for the most part, draws, or in American, they tie.
Yep.
It's filling me with a buoyant hope I am unfamiliar with, because soccer's new to me in its current obsessive format. However, much like the Olympics, when the World Cup would roll around, I would watch a few games. Nothing like I've done now, where I've sold my soul for access because Fox has the broadcast rights this year.
Yeah.
God damn it. Every time. Dude, the commercials are obscene.
Yes.
It's fucking Hannity and Gutfeld and all those other meatheads all just talking about America. And it's like,
this is on the FS1 network.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever it is. Yeah, Fox Sports 1. Yeah, I can imagine that. The ones just on Fox, the games broadcast on Fox that I've been watching, they're pretty much normal commercials. I haven't had anything where I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, that's been good. I know if I was on FS1, I'd be inundated with Hannity shit and everything. So yeah.
But I think in my current state of ignorant euphoria, I think they can make it all the way to the semifinals. If Christian Pulisic can overcome his calf injury, I think they've got a shot to make it that far. As far as the finals go, I'm not fucking stupid. But if they do make it to the finals, there will be a part of me that's like, yep, I believe this could happen.
I believe it. Like I said, I'm pushing for quarters because I think they'll make it out of knockout, and I think they'll get up to the quarterfinals. I really do. I think if they keep playing like they've played against Australia, they're gonna make it that far. But knockout rounds mean that you're out. That's the end of your gameplay. I've got one more game with Scotland after this last game against Morocco. Man, first of all, we should have gotten 2 penalty kicks.
Yes, that is true.
And the ref, one of his excuses for one of them was, well, the ball was going out. Yeah, that's usually what happens on a tackle in the box that shouldn't have had, or a hard tackle in the box or a foul in the box is the ball will go out after that. But yeah, I know they were chasing the ball, but had he been allowed to catch it, he would have been able to score, or at least come within scoring range.
It was an interruption of a goal scoring opportunity. I absolutely agree with that.
Is absolutely right.
Yep.
And that deserved a penalty kick, and I was upset we didn't get that. And there was a second one that should have gone to McTierney, and I was like, I think it was McTierney or one of them. But I was like, damn it, that's another one we should have gotten. And honestly, they should not have. That first score, I'm like, what? Are you watching the game? Are you just sitting there watching the game? The look on Angus Gunn's face when that goal went in, that what the fuck look was the look I had. What the fuck? Why did you let that happen? After 3 passes, it was obvious what was about to happen. What they were going to do. I'm like, where the fuck were you guys? And all of them were like, oh shit, I guess we got to play the game now. I'm like, yeah, no shit, guys, come on.
On the other hand, in Morocco is a far superior team to Scotland, and Scotland held them.
They held them. No, and that's been the thing I've seen is Scotland doesn't allow goals, except that first one. They normally do not allow goals to happen. They usually can get multiple men in there to prevent goals from happening. And it was like they suddenly woke up. It was like they had to wake up on that game. I'm like, come on, guys, what, were you up all night partying with the Tartan Army?
Probably.
Whom, by the way, Scotland's greatest ambassadors ever, the Tartan Army.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the most terrifying moment of the game for me was there was a member of the Tartan Army, an older gentleman who had tickets to that game.
Yes.
Who died in Boston.
Yeah.
And at the 76th minute, fans stood and gave him a standing ovation. As that's starting, Morocco makes a run, a hard, fast run, straight to the fucking goal. And I'm like, they're going to score in the 76th minute? While everybody's up clapping for the dead Scottish guy. That is so fucking wrong. And when it didn't go in, and the closer Morocco got to the goal, the quieter the clapping got.
Yeah, no, everybody's like, wait, this could be a problem.
Yeah, and then Scotland cleared it. And got it out of the box. And the clapping started back up again. And I was like, oh, fuck me. What a fucking...
And it wasn't until after that play that we could see that that guy's face was... I mean, he was up on the Jumbotron on the sidewall, just gigantic, and everybody remembering him. And this is a tribute they wanted. He was 76 years old, so they did the tribute in the 76th minute.
Sweet.
There is not a statue in Boston that doesn't have a traffic cone on it now, which is a Scottish tradition. We just put traffic cones on the top of statues. And if you take them down, you've now made it a challenge. We will put them back up every time. There was the Tartan Army has raised millions of dollars in charity for local charities just by the fact of being there. Even the park cleanup crews are like, we've never had it this clean after somebody's had like a celebration in the park.
Wait till Japan comes to town.
Yeah, no shit. So
Yeah.
those two the Tartan Army just cleaning up after themselves. They have really ingratiated themselves to the point where there are people like, can we just keep them? Can they just stay in Boston? We like the energy. I'm like, I will break them down if they stay too long.
There's not enough beer.
Yep. They literally drank Boston dry on the first night that they were in Boston.
Brilliant. England played Croatia on Wednesday for a 4-2 victory. England is, so you've got the Premier League in England, so you've got all these amazing players, and they're singular personalities. So when they get together on the field, sometimes they don't play well with others, you know? And this team, with this coach, played an incredible game of football that was a lot of teamwork and a lot of arsenal. And so
you were very happy.
I was very happy. It was a good game. I really enjoyed it. But I mean, I watched so many games. Argentina was fucking amazing. Messi got a hat trick, you know, and tied for the most goals scored in World Cups. And that's in the first game. So he'll definitely break that record. I saw Ronaldo play really shitty, you know. Mm-hmm. I watched Japan go up against these Nordic giants and fucking win yesterday. I mean, it's just, oh my God, these games, I'm having so much fun. I can't stand it. I don't know how people do this for a lifetime.
I found myself screaming at the television in the Scotland game. Run, you bastards! You only got 90 seconds left. Run! You know, my cats are like freaking out and everything.
I really thought they were going to convert something there at the end. I
really did too.
So fucking good.
And they should have had the fucking ref give them a penalty kick twice. What else you got this week?
Old Daredevil from Netflix. Yeah, there's time between the games. And if I'm not watching the Galazzo Network because of Hannah Cash, chances are I've got Old Daredevil on. I've been watching it to wait to be tired enough to fall asleep at night as well. It's just nice to have on in the background. You know, I really like it. The acting was good. It's a quality fucking program. So
I will say, Ben Affleck was a great Matt Murdock. I really liked him as Matt Murdock. He really dove into what it's like to be blind, how you have to like do. I mean, they did that whole scene of cuts where he was getting ready for the day as Matt Murdock, like he was pulled money out of individual plastic things and then folded them in a certain way so he knew what he was handing people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was such a cool little thing.
I was watching the Netflix Daredevil.
Oh, Netflix Daredevil. Okay.
Yeah, I like the Ben Affleck Daredevil, but the getting in a martial arts fight in a playground with a blind guy bit was always the worst part of that movie for me. I'm just like, nobody would do that. Nobody. You know? It's like, I'm blind lawyer Matt Murdock, who somehow knows really good kung fu. Okay. You're not Daredevil. Sure. I got you. So, yeah, what about you? What'd you watch this week?
Well, Wrexham is back. I'm sure they timed it to come back during World Cup, so we have more football. Watch some Wrexham stuff, more Wrexham. I think we talked about this last time anyway, so yeah, keeping up with Wrexham. Also, we had the interview with the Vampire Lestat. New episode, next episode. That was, I'm trying to figure out where we are in the books because this is really the books that I paid attention to.
Uh-huh.
I know we're slowly telling the stories from the Vampire Lestat, but at the same time, we seem to be smack in the middle of Queen of the Damned. So I'm trying to figure out where it's all coming in together. But I'm still loving it. This is a better telling in some ways than Anne Rice ever did. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And then, because Anthony had passed away, my wife said we need to watch Ted Lasso.
Oh,
because Anthony Head was in it, and I didn't have the heart to say I don't think he's in it that much because I would have heard about it before he died, because I never heard he was in it until after he died.
Yeah, he's in it a lot.
So far, he's been in it twice, or 3 times that we've watched it. We're almost through season 2. We just watched the episode where Coach Beard goes off on his own and has a wacky adventure.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm still trying to figure out if that was all real or not. You know, even though he had the trousers on at the end, I was like, is this real or not? It was so crazy. The whole thing with the keys. It reminded me of After Hours, that movie After Hours with Griffin Dunn back in the day.
Yep.
And at the same time, I'm like, is this real? Is this actually happening? Yeah, it was such a twisted, wonderful little episode, and I fucking loved it.
That is, for me, a delightful episode, and I really, really like it. But when I'm binging it, I usually skip that episode just because it's so different from all the others.
Yeah. It was very different. It wasn't the same that we'd had all the way through. And oh my God. I have never, it's like I knew I would enjoy the series. I just needed someone else in the house that wanted to watch it so I could sit and watch it without,
interruption.
Binge through it without being interrupted.
Yep.
And so her wanting to watch it made me happy. But yeah, I knew I'd love it. And my God, I was not expecting what this series is in a lot of ways. Just things happen that I'm like, wow, what the fuck? That's not a sitcom thing that would happen. And at other times it's like, oh, that's just perfect. That's like something that would have happened in The Office or in Parks and Rec or something, this kind of wacky stuff. But at the same time, it was like there's all these different things that happen, from the psychiatrist getting hit, the owner having to come around, all that kind of stuff. It's been a great ride, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. So
I'm glad I really am glad you liked it. I was worried that it would be overhyped and you'd come in with a chip on your shoulder and be like, I don't understand why everybody loves this so much. But I am.
No, I sat down going, I'm gonna love this, and I knew I would because I fucking love football. This is something I should have been watching from the beginning, but somebody didn't want to watch it, so we didn't watch it. You know how it is.
Someone had to die for you to enjoy this.
Exactly. We had to die for me to enjoy this series.
Yeah.
And now there's no stopping it. When season 4 finally hits sometime this year, I'll have been caught up and be ready. Yep.
It hits in August.
Yeah, I'll be ready for it. And
I'm so ready.
There'll be no stopping it. Right now we can't watch. She doesn't want to watch Friends and Neighbors because she liked it, but she didn't like it that much. And she doesn't want to watch a couple of the other ones that are up there. But maybe we're going to watch Sugar now because she caught a better trailer of that, so where she's like, ooh, what is that? I'm like, I've been trying to show you this for a month now, and you won't pay attention. Now you just paid attention. So
that looks good. Shrinking is fucking amazing.
I need to watch. I also want to watch the one with Tatiana Maslowski that just dropped.
I have. Yeah, I tried to get Tiffany interested in that, and no fly.
See, this is the problem we have now. It's like, I can watch it on my own. It's trickier because it's on Apple TV, but I'm like, damn it, I just want to share. Anyway, that's what I have watched this week. How are we doing? Do we have time for at least 1 or 2 news stories?
We are so over time that I'm going to burn these off just real quick to burn them off.
Okay.
James Burrows died. 10-time Emmy winner. Got to start on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. But yeah, he was one of the co-creators of Cheers, Will and Grace, so many other shows, and he passed away. So I think what we'll do. Well, let's see. Friends, Big Bang Theory, Frasier, Taxi, Night Court, Wings, 2.5 Men, Caroline in the City, Third Rock from the Sun, Mike and Molly, and Two Broke Girls.
This is like my life of watching sitcoms of different sorts and different kind and funny shows have been James Burrows stuff. So, yeah, it's like telling me that Stephen Cannell passed away. I think he already has, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big part of how we talk and references we make and shared experiences that we have that James Burrows is responsible for. And it's
when I went to Boston, I literally walked up to find Cheers.
That's fun.
Because they have one. It's not the actual, obviously it was a film set in Hollywood, but they have one that's a basement. It's a basement bar called Cheers. I went and found it. So yeah, it's.
So as I finished reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, I got up from my reading space and I wandered into the office and went searching on some news. And it turns out it was announced on Friday that Dungeon Crawler Carl is going to get a TV series based on the books, ordered by Peacock. Not a pilot. They got a series for it. And it's going to be produced by Seth MacFarlane. I'm just beside myself getting this because the last really good book I read like this, it was Project Hail Mary. And then as I finished it, a couple of days later, it was announced that the movie was coming. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I am winning with pop culture this year. So I'm looking forward to that. And then finally, with some good news to send us off into the void, Netflix has won a bidding war for Sesame Street's movie rights. So we're going to see some Sesame Street movies, which I'm kind of excited about because I love the Muppets in general and in specific. But what was the Big Bird movie? Catch That Bird?
Mm-hmm. Follow That Bird.
Follow That Bird. I still love that movie. So I think this will be fun. I think this is, you know, they'll go straight to streaming, which is going to be nice. And these are the people that did the Lilo and Stitch and the Aladdin movies. You know, it's not just some no-name Netflix attachment. These guys have fucking street cred. So, yeah, that'll be nice. I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. But that's it. Yeah, that's it for that.
All right. One thing really quick. Keith Knight, cartoonist, famous for the Keith Chronicles, the K Chronicles is what he called it, the K Chronicles, and Think. These are usually in things like City Weekly, here in Salt Lake City, in those kind of newspapers, the local papers, that kind of stuff. He did have a running series for a little while, but he dropped it because it was just too much work for not a lot of reward on that end. He is putting together an animated short called One Black Kid, and he's seeking funding over Kickstarter. He's got just a couple of days left. He's hit his fundraising goal, but you know, it's always good to go over. Get in on it. There is the smallest tier is how much? Boy, what do you change this for, Kickstarter? Okay. The smallest tier is just $25, and it's called Friendly Neighborhood Support, and you'll get invited to an online premiere of the animated short by Keith Knight. So, yeah, head on over to Kickstarter.com and look for One Black Kid, and that's a Keith Knight animated short, and check it out. There's a little video that he talks to you about what he's doing and everything, and this will be one of the first times Keith's stuff is really brought to life. So look forward to that. And aside from that, we invite you to join us at Patreon, patreon.com/dfenmedia, where every week we give you extra content. This week we have some additional news involving boy, I've lost the whole thing. We've got some additional news we're going to cover, and also some fun facts about Highlander, the movie. So join us, will you, at patreon.com/dfenmedia. Until then, I will say, as I always do, until Wolverine loses his healing factor again, make mine Marvel. For Stan!
Don't make me shave. Don't.